They call it a billionaire takeover of government, coming at the expense of everyday workers. On this Labor Day, demonstrations across the nation pushed to build momentum against President Donald Trump and his administration. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Molly Shen.
And I'm Preston Phillips. Western Washington saw its own rallies and marches as people demanded protections for Medicaid and Social Security and an end to immigration raids. KOMO's Joel Moreno tracked these protests throughout the day and joins us live with what was accomplished. Joel?
Preston and Molly, pretty sizable turnouts for the events we attended. The people who showed up, they were outraged but peaceful, and they hope to gain even more ground for the working class in the days and weeks to come.
No fear, no hate, no fear.
They filled the streets with their banners, signboards, and chants.
We want Medicaid! Not another ICE raid!
Pushing a message that America's priorities have become misplaced.
Workers should be more powerful than the small billionaire class. Workers above billionaires is our message today.
Along with a celebration of workers and their contributions was also a denunciation of President Donald Trump and the policies being pursued.
But obviously, you look around here today, there's a lot of people talking about democracy and freedoms and what they're seeing and is increasing attacks from the federal administration.
One demonstration staged outside the offices of Palantir Technologies, where protesters called out the company for its support of immigration raids.
The kind of work that they do is they track down immigrants to be able to funnel that information to ICE, to be able to find them, detain them, and then deport them.
When President Trump ran, he said he was going to go after the bad guys and the criminals, and that's not really where his focus has been.
They also showed their solidarity for the working class, saying the government can help by restoring food assistance programs, not by sending National Guard troops into communities.
We see attacks on immigrants, on refugees, on worker protections. We're seeing attacks on the rights of everyone to have their civil rights protected.
Fighting for the people of our state.
The Attorney General is litigating more than 36 cases against the Trump administration and says he will keep on defending the interests of this state.
It's not about fighting Trump, but it's about protecting Washingtonians.
Yeah, there were a few common demands that tied all these protests together across the country. Foremost, they want greater protections for things like Medicaid, Social Security, and other programs that protect the working class. They want an end to the raids against the immigrant community, and they want to have fully funded things like schools, health care, and housing for all. Reporting live, Joel Moreno, KOMO News.
All right, thanks, Joel. Rallies and demonstrations also are being held across the country to mark Labor Day. In Chicago, hundreds from dozens of unions rallied against the Trump administration's federal cuts to highlight the importance of workers. The rally came on the same day that hotel workers in downtown Chicago had planned to protest after housekeepers were locked out over the weekend over a contract dispute.
Where did you grow up? You don't know that Chicago's the home of the American labor movement? You do this on Labor Day? Shame on you.
Meanwhile, in Boston, protesters gathered for a Workers Over Billionaires demonstration. It's one of several demonstrations around the country protesting the Trump administration and calling for an end to, quote, big money influence over politics.
Hey, hey! Go, ICE has got to go! Hey, hey!
In Tukwila, this rally was held outside the Department of Homeland Security field office for ICE. This rally is also part of the Workers Over Billionaires movement. Demonstrators marched from Cascade View Community Park to the facility on International Boulevard, playing Latin music and holding signs calling for the abolishment of ICE.
But in this building right here, they invite them in for appointments, they make them promises, and then they load them in the vehicles and they take them to the NWDC. We're gonna make ICE uncomfortable in this country.
The federal government says they plan to ramp up operations in our state and send more ICE agents to sanctuary cities which refuse to work with ICE. And that brings us to our KOMO Pulse poll this afternoon. Scan the QR code on screen to participate as we're asking, how do you feel about ICE increasing operations in the Seattle area? And here's a live look at the results. Right now you can see most people at 75% say they approve, 23% of people responding to the poll disapprove, and 2% say each case is different. Again, if you'd like to weigh in, scan the code that's on your screen. It takes you directly to the story on KOMOnews.com.